And it's clear to see why Israelis and Palestinians would be split on the issue of the wall. But Yehuda, I'm going to give you an opportunity to elaborate a little more because some people are asking. I'm just going to pull up this one question. This kind of summarizes. Thank you for the question, Brooke. Can you elaborate on why you think the barrier has no impact on the security of Israelis?
Sure. First of all, the barrier is not even finished yet, and Palestinians pass through every day. So it's ridiculous to think that the barrier has anything to do with the prevention of terrorism. I would say that if we're talking about the second Intifada, I was a soldier at the time, and the wall. Well, maybe I'll start with the political story of the wall. The wall was the idea of a member of Knesset named Chaim Ramon, who was originally in the Labour Party and moved over to Kadima. And during the second Intifada, he tried to sell this idea of a wall to both major parties, Likud and Labour. Likud at the time was headed by Ariel Sharon, a former general. Labour at the time was headed by Benjamin Ben Eliezer, a former general. Both of these party leaders, both of these former generals laughed in his face. But as they headed towards the elections, which ended up taking place in 2003, they saw polls that indicated that a large percentage of Israelis who were considered to be in the center supported this idea of the wall, largely because the media had pushed it very hard. I think as a way to get Israeli buy-in to the two-state solution after Oslo resulted in the Intifada. And so both parties ended up adopting this policy in order to win over voters, and that became Israeli policy. In addition, I'd say from a security perspective, it wasn't it wasn't the wall, but rather Operation Defensive Shield, and also the Hamas fatwa against suicide bombings that actually forced the Intifada to kind of fizzle out. And I think, it's also obviously very oppressive to Palestinians, not only oppressive, but even a symbol of oppression in the minds of many Palestinians. And I think the act of taking it down, and it takes courage. I understand that there are people who are scared, but overall, I think we need to drop this mentality that a lot of Israelis unfortunately have, that we are sheep and they are wolves, and we need all of these oppressive structures to protect us from the wolves. If I feel that somebody's a threat to me, I'm willing to fight. I don't need to create an entire system of oppression in order to protect myself from somebody who I think is a threat. And ultimately, though, I think that the wall has been sold to us. And it's amazing to me also that of all of Israel's policies, when you look at all of the policies that Israel's criticized for internationally, the one that we don't receive so much criticism for is actually the wall, specifically from the United States, because ultimately it serves the U.S. agenda to divide this land in half. And the wall, I think, has been constructed with the idea that it's ultimately creating a de facto border and that this country will be divided into two states, chas v'shalom, both dependent on the United States for survival.